Welcome to Retirement Readiness. I'm Joel Barjenbruch of JS Financial. So let's go ahead and dive in. What is retirement readiness? Here at JS Financial, we view retirement readiness as being both fundamentally and emotionally prepared to retire. That's exactly what we do, is we help our clients retire. How do we do that? We have a 3-step process towards protected income and retirement readiness. The first step is to identify the income for what you need and for what you want. This is what you have to protect. The second step is understanding your retirement income sources and characteristics. The fact is, not all sources have the same characteristics, and certain characteristics may actually surprise you. Third step, we take into account all risk factors and we stress test your retirement. I'm going to share with you some key risk factors we address with all of our clients so that we know that we can meaningfully address those from a balanced approach. So let's talk about that first step, income for what you need. This is that survivorship element of retirement. Can I put food on the table, clothing on my back? What about my medical needs and expenses? These are essentials that you just can't live without. The second part of income needs we address with our clients is, what do you want to do during your retirement? This is the why that you've worked all these years. This is the income that goes towards the fun part of retirement. Travel, memberships, maybe to help with your grandkids' college education. Whatever you are dreaming about spending your retirement years pursuing, that's what this is for. These are your hopes and dreams, and we don't take them lightly. The next step is about identifying your current income sources that you already have in your portfolio. These income sources are the fuel for the financial engine that will empower you to get to enjoying your retirement. Common retirement income sources include bonds, annuities, pensions, rental income, Social Security, and stocks. And we've broken down the different types of characteristics that each of these vehicles have right here. I'm going to highlight one example to give you an idea. So let's take a look at our key here. Our options here when it comes to these retirement income vehicles is likely, unlikely, or vehicle specific. So our example here is pensions. Most pensions have guaranteed income stream, right? That's the intent of a pension plan. Coming from the government or a fully funded pension plan, this is something that is considered guaranteed in your portfolio. I know there is the argument that they are underfunded, but we won't get into that here. Now, one detriment is these assets are not liquid. If you decide not to roll your funds out and sort of control your own destiny, then your pension is a non-liquid asset. Growth potential. You're probably not going to have any here with a pension. This is typically a fixed income source that may keep up with inflation over the course of time. Volatility protection? Absolutely, that's one of the best things about a pension. It takes the ups and downs away. If you take a guaranteed income, just like with Social Security, you will have that guaranteed stream. Tax efficient for a pension? Not likely, because it's going to be taxed in almost all instances. These are going to be driven by the source of your pension. If it's coming from the government, it's going to have those types of features where it's taxable. There typically is an election that you can choose to pass percentages along to a spouse. So that's something that you don't want to neglect, is to make sure that a beneficiary can receive some of this if that's what you want. And so what we did was we populated this entire chart so you can have an overview of the strengths and weaknesses of each category. Are you perhaps overweighted in one or not enough in the other? That's what we want to determine. The third step is that we take a look at the different types of risk. This is where we perform a retirement stress test. These are the 5 primary risks right here to retirement that everyone has to deal with. These are the heart of most of our clients' retirement concerns. We're going to walk through these in our process and talk about each risk scenario fully so you understand what each category is and how we can prepare for it. The first type is market risk. When we talk about the market, what if there is a correction in the market followed by a 4-year recovery period, meaning you likely won't break even for that period of time? How might that affect your retirement plans? A 4-year recovery. Would you still be able to afford to retire at the time you want to? Or perhaps would you not even be able to stay retired with the lifestyle that you had anticipated? The next one is we talk about tax risk. What happens to your money in retirement if taxes go up? The U.S. debt has reached record levels, and the probability of tax increases over the next decade or two is probable. Could taxes eat away at your hard-earned retirement income? Absolutely they could. We've got to be prepared for that. Inflation risk. If you're living on a fixed budget and the cost of your expenses go up 3%, will you have to forgo something you want in retirement, like a vacation or your country club membership, or the ability to pay your grandchildren's tuition on that specific budget? One thing that we know is that medical care is much higher cost for those over the age of 65. Also, it inflates at a higher rate. There's more need for this age group, and the costs are higher in this age group. So, have you thought about how healthcare costs will affect you if they rise in the future? Longevity risk. What happens if you live a long time and or get really sick? What happens if that life expectancy is much longer than you calculated? What if at some point you get sick to the point where you can't carry out your daily activities and you need long-term care for 3, 5, maybe 10 years or more? Will your spouse be able to maintain their lifestyle with your added long-term care expenses on top? Survivorship risk. You have to deal with mortality. Too many times I see couples who haven't had the hard conversation about what happens when a spouse passes away. What if one of you died tomorrow? Will the surviving spouse or your dependents be able to live in the same home, drive the same car, and enjoy the same hobbies throughout the rest of their retirement? It's a valid concern for most that goes unaddressed. With all of this information, we take it and we perform what's called a stress test. Our objective at JS Financial is to help increase the probability of your success in retirement. One of the most important things we will do is work to remove any unnecessary risk. Nobody wants unnecessary risk. Nobody does. If someone was to ask me, "Hey Joel, what do you guys specialize in at JS Financial?" Well, we specialize in a well-defined process for helping remove unnecessary risk from people's portfolios. Oftentimes people are overexposed in certain areas, and we help identify that. And then with just some small tweaks, we're able to put them on a better projected path for the remainder of their retired years. All of this effort is to support your income needs and wants for your retirement. At the end of the day, when you walk out of my office, you should feel prepared and confident that your needs and wants will be met. So how do we get started on this? Up on the screen now is the contact information for my office. If you'd like to set up a time to talk further and go over our process and the stress test for your own retirement savings, please give us a call or send us over an email. If you're calling in, you'll probably either speak with my wife Stacy, who's the S in JS Financial, or Stephanie or Lauren, who are also in our office. Any one of them would be happy to set you up with a time to talk. We also run virtual appointments as well. I have clients from Hawaii to Maine, so we'd be happy to set up this same conversation over the phone or on a very convenient Zoom session if you can get in front of your computer. So please take the time, reach out to us. We're really looking forward to hear from you. The sooner you do, the sooner we'll be able to get on the path to protecting your income so that you can focus on having the best years of your life.